Hey guys, Scott Dispel here, dispelmusic.com. It's been far too long, so let's get caught up. Check it out. Hey guys, Scott Dispel here, dispelmusic.com. Welcome to our humble studio here on the shores of Lake Erie. It's been far too long since I made a video. In fact, I think it's been since the spring, perhaps. And now the summer's almost over. I can't believe it. It's about to be Labor Day, and the summer's come and gone. However, one of the cool things about Ohio and Lake Erie is we get 4 distinct seasons, which is pretty cool if you like change. And typically we get what's called an Indian summer, where it's warm into September and October. And that's what I'm hoping for, because Indian summer is pretty much the coolest season ever, because the fall colors are here, the leaves change, and it's harvest time, and there's pumpkin patches and hay rides and all that really cool mystical stuff that time of year. And that leads right into Halloween, or Samhain, which is, unbelievable. I could do a whole video on that. But today, it's been so long, I want to get caught up, and instead of Halloween, we're going to talk about Dante's Inferno. It's going to be kind of a recap with this video. I know we've got a lot of new subscribers, and people who have just discovered us, so welcome everybody. So today, let's talk about what I've been doing the whole summer. So I'm in the service industry. So when summer hits in Cleveland, there's tons of events, so it's go time. So I've been insanely busy, running around like a madman, which is actually nothing unusual for me. And I haven't been able to dedicate as much time to making videos, but on the sidelines, we've been doing a lot of work with the band. We've started rehearsals for the Inferno album. So let's talk about the Inferno album. So the Inferno album is based on Dante's Inferno. So what we did is we did a song for each level of mortal sin. This is a beautiful package. So I still have some of these available, limited edition colored vinyl. And it includes pretty much the coolest insert you will ever experience. So here's the one side. Here's the other side, the lyrics. Notice the gates of hell that open up into this absolutely beautiful piece of art, fully original piece of art done by our fantastic artist Barry Gelderblom. So this artwork completely exceeded my expectations, and so it's part of the package. So I think I had mentioned before, with those of you who have followed me on our YouTube videos, I think one of the greatest things about music is when you get a new album or a CD and you're able to listen to it, and while you're listening to it, you can look at the insert and read the lyrics and the artwork, and really get taken away and become part of the experience. This also includes the artwork. So it's all about the experience with us, and the imagery and the art is just as important to us as the music. So sometimes we take a little extra time getting it just right, but as one of my college professors said, quality is attention to detail. So we certainly want to pay attention to detail, because we want quality, because we are standing on the shoulder of a giant, Dante Alighieri, and we are emulating his masterpiece of world literature into an epic soundtrack. So I still have some of these available. You can get them on our website, dispelmusic.com, down here. And if you go under albums, I am shipping these to US and the EU. So like I said, limited edition colored vinyl. So once these are sold out, I will not order a red again. We may do a second press, but it will not be red. So this way we know first press is the red transparent vinyl. And also I'm about to ship one out, so I want to send a shout out to David in Indiana. Thank you for ordering the album. It's on its way right after this video. So Dante's Inferno. It is a literary masterpiece. It was written in the 14th century by Dante Alighieri. He was in Florence, Italy, but he was excommunicated over politics. Seems times don't change that much. Fortunately, the Pope at the time was a fan of his. So he was under protection of the Pope, and I think it's a miracle he did not get burned at the stake for being heretical, discussing the Inferno. So Dante goes with his guide, the Roman poet Virgil, and they descend into hell. And he does a description of every layer of hell that's associated with every mortal sin. So we're talking about gluttony, violence, greed. What else here? Fraud, treachery, lust. So all those things we threw on this epic conceptual album. And we'd love for you to join this journey with us. Journey with us into the Inferno. In this case, Raven C., our singer, will be your tour guide, and the Plague Doctor takes our knight into the Inferno. So that's kind of how it works out, and you can see the knight here, and Raven C. and the Plague Doctor approaching the gates of hell. So what often happens with a band, or I think with any creative outlet, you have the vision and the ideas, and once you start executing and putting it together, sometimes it takes on a life of its own. So when I started this project, I did not have the idea of a Plague Doctor or Raven C's personality. I know I wanted swords and chainmail to reflect my love of medieval fantasy, and but otherwise it took on a complete life of its own. You know, this cover was done by Claudia Bezik in Poland, so a totally international collaboration here. The back of the album was done by our artist Barry Gelderblum, who also did the insert, and he did our awesome new logo. So shout out to him. What a talented artist. What a fortunate set of circumstances that brought such luminaries together. And that's really what I wanted to talk about today. So what have we been doing with our time this summer? So we wanted to do something special for the performance of this album. Because it's about a literary masterpiece, we wanted to do it justice. So every step of the way, we put a lot of attention into detail. And when it came to the performance of, okay, what's the stage show going to be? What's the live show? Are we just going to, be like a band and jam at the local watering hole? And it was something that we wanted to do a little more. I've done that since I was in my late teens. And now that I've been through that experience and the touring and playing at, bars, I wanted to go a little more grand. And since we're such a theatrical band, and check out our other YouTube videos here, and please subscribe and give this a thumbs up because it helps the algorithm. So it's shown to more people and we can gather more fans that way. It's really helpful. So since we're so theatrical, we decided, wow, what could we do with Dante's Inferno? We could make a theatrical performance from it. So that was the idea. I ran it by Raven C. and actually Barry, our artist, to get their take on it, and they said they loved the idea. So I reached out to a local playwright group here in Cleveland, the Young Playwrights Collective, which is a group of incredibly talented playwrights. And through their help, a young man reached out to us, a graduate from Baldwin Wallace, which has an incredible theater program, arguably the best probably in the Northwest, if not the world for all I know. And it's a brilliant individual, and I started collaborating. I'm not going to say his name yet until all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, but here we have a script, the full script of Dante's Inferno, a musical performed by Dispel, and this plays pretty epic. So the next step is to get the vision from the paper onto the stage. So kind of a big reveal. So that's what we've been doing with our time over the summer, and I've had many meetings with him over coffee and throwing around scenes and ideas, and can we do this, can we do that, and yeah, we've got it right here. Here's the script. So incredibly proud of this. From starting in the studio, sitting at a keyboard, figuring out, all right, I'm going to write music, and now I'm holding a script. It's just every step of the way is just getting more incredible. And I just reached out to a friend of mine who I used to intern for, actually, at a recording studio. So I reached out to this gentleman and asked him if he would like to be involved in this project. So I think the meeting, our initial discussion about it went very well. So fingers crossed. But to pull this off, I'm going to have to continue to surround myself with incredibly talented people, basically prodigies. I need to surround myself with prodigies to make this happen, and including I'm going to need an amazing choreographer. I'm going to need some amazing dancers. I'm going to need a seamstress that is just blessed with talent. So I have some ideas of where I'm going to try and find these people, and fortunately Ohio has some great colleges and some very talented people, a very talented pool of artists. So yeah, you're with us on the initial step, and as I said, you know, once you start listening to our music, we want you to be part of the adventure. We want you to be part of this, to live vicariously through what we're doing. It's your support that helps us do this. And the album sales and the CD sales, it all goes right back into the band. And we're able to do incredible stuff. So how cool would this be to see a gothic rock band perform a musical theatrical? It's just going to be unbelievable. So that's the dream. We're going for it 110%. And for any of you out there that have goals or ideas of your own, you have to be full in. Don't expect it to be a straight line. I want to do this and I'll end up here, because sometimes that can get overwhelming. And I honestly suffered from a huge spout of burnout. After we got this album done, I was literally burned out. I needed like a 4-month break just to kind of come back down to earth and get caught up with life and focus on making an income again and just surviving, so to speak. So it'll take its toll on you, but it's worth it. So yeah, just be dedicated to whatever your cause you have. Understand there's going to be setbacks and stumbling blocks and technical hurdles, and you know, once you get over those things, you learn. It makes your resolve, it strengthens your resolve, and you press forward, and you gain the wisdom and a better understanding of the clarity of where you want to be. So that's very important. So yes, so please, if you haven't got the album, like I said, we have a limited amount of the colored vinyl available, first press. There's only 200, and once these are done, that'll be it for the red vinyl, first press. So what else have I been getting into? So one of the things that makes me creative, and this is my nerd moment, is fantasy gaming, specifically Dungeons and Dragons. So it's either Dungeons and Dragons or hiking in the woods or going on some cool nature trip or camping is what really charges my creativity. And I need that constant power up of my creativity to pull stuff like this off. because so much of it's not tangible. It's in here, and I have to make the vision a reality, and it can happen. So oddly enough, Dungeons and Dragons was a real big influence for this band, and the creativity behind it, and just the organization that's required to play a role-playing game like that with pen and paper and dice. It takes a lot of organization, which gives you organizational skills. And if you go to our website, dispelmusic.com, and you scroll down on the front page, there's a blog kind of talking about how influential fantasy gaming was because of the structure and how it taps into your imagination and how you can take those skills into real life. And there's math, organization, you build camaraderie with friends. I mean, we're gaming with friends that I've had since high school. We're talking over 30 years. Friends of over 30 years based on the game. So, I mean, what a blessing that is. And we all know how important friends are. So, we just started the campaign again. I think we took a 5-year hiatus. And it's just an incredibly interesting campaign. Our DM, John, is phenomenal. And when his take on it, he has plans within plans, like a chess match, and gaming with him, you feel like you're in a fantasy novel. You feel like you're in Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones. It's that complex, and it's just unbelievably how it supercharges my imagination. So thank you, John. Thank you, my gaming crew. What a wonderful gaming crew here in Cleveland that I've got. So wanted to talk about that. And then finally, to wrap things up, in celebration of getting the script completed. And it's going to take, like I said, a lot of work getting it from the paper to the stage, and quite frankly, a lot of funds. So what we're doing is to try and help raise some capital. We decided to come up with a digital box set. So in the link below, we've taken all of our music, our original EP, our first album, Lore, our remixes and demos, and then our next EP, which was Past the Gates, which was the lead up to Inferno, and then finally the full Inferno album. Our entire musical library as a digital box set we're offering for 50% off the retail price. So I'm going to have the link below, but if you're new to us and you want to hear our music, you can get all of it and follow the storyline, and for 50% off, so a ridiculously crazy price. I think it's like under $30, like I believe it's $29, $25, $29, somewhere in there. So incredible price for 2 albums, and actually 3 albums, 2 EPs. The demos and remixes wasn't officially an album, but I think it's at least 13 songs. So it's LP length. So tons of music. You'll be supporting a great cause and helping us bring the Inferno album to life as a theatrical performance. So this is a huge hurdle for us. We're really entering into a different art form. And it's the theater scene is incredibly robust. The people who support it seem to be fanatical about it. So I think it's a really great opportunity for this band to enter into a new realm of entertainment. So tell me what you think below. Give me a shout out. Tell me what you've been up to. Did you do anything cool this summer? You know, hit me up below. You know, I try to answer everybody. For our email subscribers, I'll be sending an email with this video and a link to the special of the 50% off our entire digital catalog, our digital box set. So yeah, that's what's going on. And then I'll try and keep you posted as we go along this process. I think the next video I'll probably do a little bit of the rehearsal. So we're rehearsing here in the studio, And right now I'm just using the electronic drums because I can turn down the volume, so we can keep it at a reasonable roar. And so yeah, maybe I'll share some of our rehearsal performances with you. But thanks again for your support. Thank you for your time. I know time is valuable, so we really appreciate you spending it with us. So again, the Inferno album is available with the amazing insert, incredible insert. This is incredible. You can listen to the album and just look. There's a bunch of hidden figures in here and faces and monsters. So a really cool experience to listen to the album, kind of sit back and immerse yourself in some really cool fantasy. And of course, Raven C's voice is unbelievable. And yes, really excited to be part of this. Having this be an idea and come to reality, and then taking a huge step like this and doing something completely on our own, completely insane, and trying to step into a whole new realm is pretty exciting, and it's definitely an adventure. So thank you for joining us on this adventure.
A banishment so shameless. Now taste your chaos and take a bite. The bitterness of a love lost inside you. One simmering streams of blood to take you into night.